Hello everyone, my name is Jason Aravalos and today we'll be going over overfishing. Imagine a world where oceans are empty, coral reefs are barren, and sea creatures some hundreds of millions of years old have vanished forever. This is not a dystopian future. It's the reality we are rapidly heading towards if overfishing continues unchecked. As someone who regularly consumes seafood, I am also part of the problem contributing to the depletion of marine life. Yet, I also believe that through collective action and stricter legal measures, we can change that trajectory. So, all that may sound kind of scary, but there's hope. We have the power to change this through stronger laws, regulations, and international cooperation. We can ensure that future generations inherit oceans teeming with life rather than barren seas. Today, I'll explain the consequences of overfishing, outline some current solutions, and show implementing new, stricter laws can help restore balance to our oceans, protecting biodiversity, and secure the livelihoods of millions of people. Overfishing is rapidly depleting marine population, disrupting ecosystems, and threatening the survival of countless sea species, putting both biodiversity and human livelihoods at risk. How is it doing it? Well, depletion of fish stocks. Overfishing is causing a dramatic decrease in fish populations, especially species targeted by commercial fishing. The Marine Stewardship Council 2022 article, What is Overfishing?, available on their website, provides an overview of the causes and consequences of overfishing, emphasizing its global impact on marine life. They argue that the reports show over 37% of global fish stocks were overfished in 2024 alone. It also has an impact on marine life and ecosystems. Overfishing doesn't only affect fish, it disrupts the entire food web. Species such as sea turtles and corals, often unintentionally caught, face significant risk. According to the World Wildlife Fund's 2024 article titled Overfishing, the organization outlines the significant threats that overfishing poses to marine ecosystems. They suggest overfishing contributes to the loss of billions of fish, along with hundreds of thousands of sea turtles and cetaceans. It also has an impact on human communities. Overfishing directly threatens the livelihoods of millions of people. The Marine Stewardship Council also argues that over 10% of the world's population depends on fishing and aquaculture for their livelihoods. More than 3 billion people rely on fish for protein, with aquatic foods representing at least 20% of their daily animal protein intake. It also has an impact on our ecological and economic consequences. As fish stock dwindles, ecosystems collapse, and coastal communities suffer. The World Wildlife Fund highlights that when fish disappear, jobs and coastal economics vanish too. Now that I kind of briefly went over what overfishing is, I'll tell you more about some of the solutions being done currently to alleviate the problem. So, some of the current laws and challenges. Existing legal frameworks, such as the Endangered Species Act, have shown limited success. In his 2001 article, Free and Green, A New Approach to Environmental Protection, J.H. Hadler, professor at Harvard, argues for a novel perspective on environmental law published in the Harvard Journal of Law and Public Policy. He suggests that despite efforts like the Endangered Species Act 1973, fewer than 30 out over 1,000 species have been successfully delisted from the endangered list. Additionally, he argues that private landowners often premeditatively destroy habitats to avoid federal regulations, further undermining the effectiveness of such laws. Another, inadequate fishing management. Current fishing practices are poorly regulated, contributing to overexploitation of marine resources. According to an article by Nicola Smith titled Fish, Markets, and Fishermen, The Economics of Overfishing, published in the Journal of International Affairs in the fall-winter issue of 2005, the economic effects of overfishing are substantial and complex. She mentions fishermen continue to exploit dwindling fish stocks due to market demand, even when returns diminish. She goes on to say that the lack of sufficient management reforms and incentives the sustainable fishing practices exacerbates the issue. So, potential solutions through reform. Effective reforms include restricting fishing gear, setting catch limits, and implementing quotas to ensure sustainable practices. The introduction of policies that limit fishing periods and impose landing quotas would help regulate catches and allow fish populations to recover. Implementing new, stricter laws and regulations to prevent overfishing and protect marine biodiversity. Stricter fishing quotas and limits. Setting significantly backed and enforceable fishing quotas will regulate catch limits and prevent overfishing. These measures must consider the reproductive cycles of species and health of ecosystems to maintain sustainable fish population. So, we have an implementation strategy. A comprehensive approach is required to implement stricter regulations effectively. Step 1. Conduct scientific assessments to determine sustainable quotas. Step 2. Strengthen legal and regulatory frameworks to ensure enforceability. Step 3. Implement monitoring and enforcement of mechanisms to track fishing activities. And step 4. Ensure stakeholders, including fishing communities, to adapt management based on ongoing feedback. Cost and effectiveness. Well, the implementation of stricter regulations will require investment in research, monitoring technologies, and enforcement infrastructure. The long-term benefits outweigh the cost. Sustainable fishing practices will help ensure a steady supply of seafood, which is vital for food security, especially in developing nations. Let's picture the results. Enforcing stricter quotas could lead to healthier oceans, more abundant fish stocks, and stronger coastal economies. This would also foster international cooperation as countries work together to ensure sustainable fishing practices. So, overfishing is rapidly depleting marine population, disrupting ecosystems, and threatening biodiversity. The solution lies in implementing stricter laws and regulations, such as significantly backed quotas that ensure sustainable fishing and protect marine life. So what can you do? You can advocate for stronger laws, choose sustainable sourced seafood, and support policies that protect marine ecosystems. Every action counts, and together we can help ensure that future generations inherit an ocean rich with life. As we face the decline of vital marine ecosystems, remember this: the oceans are not just distant resources, they are crucial to our survival. By demanding stronger laws and taking action, we can rewrite the future of our oceans. Let's be the generation that turns the tide before it's too late. Thank you, and I hope you learned something and been inspired by overfishing